Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, everyone. My name is Misbah, and it is my absolute pleasure to welcome you to MCNA's first virtual summer halaqah. Jazakallah khair for joining on time. While we wait for everyone else to join, I have a couple of announcements to make. MCNA offers many programs throughout the year, such as Primetime. Primetime is a free monthly online program that addresses events and topics in everyday conversation. Previous Primetime recordings can be found on our YouTube channel, and inshallah we will be resuming Primetime in September. We also offer online YMJ courses in the spring and fall. Companion Magazine by MCNA features entries from kids all across the US. It is issued twice a year. Feel free to submit your work, which can be anything from poems, essays, stories, or recipes. The magazine also offers various competitions where you can participate and win prizes. MCNA also offers annual Journey to the Quran course during Ramadan. We have just completed a course and it was very interesting and very informative. Alhamdulillah. You can find all of our previous session recordings on our MCNA and YMJ YouTube channel. Some of the courses we uploaded are Primetime, Journey to the Quran, and virtual halaqas like this one. We have also uploaded the virtual talent show and Eid celebration. Make sure to subscribe to our channel and like our videos, please. And last but not least, please check out our Facebook and Instagram pages for our Arabic Word of the Week and more updates. And as always, we will be playing Kahoot at the end of each session, so stay tuned, please. Okay, let's start the program. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. I would like to introduce today's speaker, Sister Sana Siddiqui. Sister Sana is a mom of two boys ages 7 and 4. She studied pharmacy from Dubai and has worked in the pediatric field for over 4 years. She now works as a substitute teacher and does volunteer work for all departments of ICNA, alhamdulillah. She loves reading and she loves spending time with her boys as they make her life an adventure every day. So without any further delay, Sister Sana, the mic is yours.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, everybody. Can you hear me? Awesome, and I can read you guys, so this works very good for both of us. Awesome. That's very good. Now, assalamu alaikum again, everybody. Hope you're all doing good. So, how's summer going for everyone? Oh, that's very good. You guys have a good summer. I know, I'm loving it too. Well, we had thunderstorms for 2 days straight, like last week, but other than that, it's been really good. Alhamdulillah, it's been very nice. So, I would like to know if you can write down how old you are and where are you joining us from? 12, 13, 11, Georgia. 12, awesome. 17, wow. Oh, wow. We have somebody from Toronto as well. That's very good. From California, Texas, Washington, Virginia. That's awesome. Houston, Maryland. Yay! My parents live in Maryland. Louisville, Kentucky. Woohoo! I lived in Kentucky too. Chicago. We are in Chicago. New Jersey. Awesome. So, mashallah, everybody is here from, I believe, all over the US, East and West. That's very good. And it's absolutely wonderful how we have everybody from ages 8 to up to 17. That's actually very good. Wow. Okay, so somebody asked, where is the chat box? This is exactly where you are typing in right now. And how it's going to work is, inshallah, we're going to talk about the Sahabah. So who knows what is this series about, or what am I going to talk about today specifically? About the Sahabas. Who are the Sahabas, guys? The companions. Companions of whom? Right. So we are going to talk about the companions of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We call them Sahabas in Arabic. Um, so this series, of course, is about the Sahabas. We're going to address some of the Sahabas that we know in our history. Obviously, there are many Sahabas, but we chose few of them, inshallah, for our course. And then we're going to talk about the names of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Can somebody tell me, how many names does Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have? I'm sure all of you know that. 99. Awesome. See, you all got it. So yes, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has 99 names, and we are going to cover some of those names in the class as well. So what's going to happen is I'm going to talk, but I'm not going to talk all the time. And I'm going to ask you guys questions, and I would like your help because we can make this class so much more fun if I can read what you guys are saying too. So I'm going to ask, we're going to keep it interactive, so I'm not the only one talking. Otherwise, it's going to get very boring, okay? And I know, mashallah, you guys are from all over the place, and it's summer. And I hope that inshallah, in September or August, whenever your schools reopen, inshallah, it opens without this coronavirus, and it's gone. I know it's hard. We have summers, but it's still very hard. They open our masajids here, but you know there are obviously there are a lot of restrictions, and it's quite hard. It is hard for me though. I love to go outside and dine in places and stuff like that, but it's kind of hard right now with this coronavirus. Anyway, inshallah, let's begin. Let me see. Alrighty. So the very first companion. Now, can somebody tell me when we said that companions, we're going to talk about the companions of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, right? Now, why are they special? Can somebody tell me? Walaikum assalam. Can somebody tell me why are they special? Why do we call them the Sahabas? They helped the Prophet. They were believers. Okay. Because they were with the Prophet when no one listened. This is something very nice that somebody wrote. They learned from this that they were trusted by the Prophet. Yes. So actually, almost each one of you is right. And it's wonderful how many of you have got the right answer. Each one of you is right. See, the thing is, imagine guys, imagine if you're in your class, right? And you're the only Muslim, for example, in your class. I'm sure many of you would have this scenario. In my son's class, even though he's in first grade, he's the only Muslim boy, right? So when he sees any other Muslim guy, any other Muslim boy in his class or girl, he gets very excited. In his school, in his lunchroom, when he sees another Muslim, he gets very excited because there's somebody who knows what Islamic values are, what is to be a Muslim. They have common things to share and to talk about, right? This is because we feel comfortable when we know that the other person knows about us, right? He agrees with us. When we have our Muslim friends, when we are having our class parties, and if you are the only one who's not eating marshmallows, and there's this other person in the class who actually who's also not eating marshmallows, it feels supportive, right? You feel you have a backup. You feel you have a friend. You feel strength, right? Now the Sahabas, when Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when the Quran came down to him from Angel Jibril, we all know what happened, right? We all know what happened. How did the Quraysh deal with Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam? Nobody believed him, right? Nobody did. But when the night the Quran came down, there were few people, the first people who actually believed in Prophet Muhammad ﷺ because of what Prophet Muhammad ﷺ told them. He did not bring a physical Quran, but Prophet Muhammad told them, well, an angel came to me and he spoke to me. And he said, he gave me the Quran and he told me, I am the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ. Imagine his wife. She was the first woman who actually accepted Islam because she was there when Prophet Muhammad ﷺ came with the Quran revelation, right? Can anybody tell me that what happened when he came back from Mount Hira? What happened when he came down from Mount Hira, when he got the first revelation of the Quran, Iqra? He was scared. He was shivering. He said, "Cover me." Yes, that's right. That's right. He told Khadija to cover him. That's absolutely right. Wow. Yes. All of you are right. That's Zammiluni. That's the word. I don't know if you guys have heard the nasheed by Native Deen, Zammiluni. It's one of my favorite nasheeds. It's awesome. They have one without the music in it. It's really good. You guys need to listen to it. It's called Zammiluni by Native Deen, okay? It's very, very good. Anyway, so that's what happened. When Prophet Muhammad ﷺ got the revelation, he came down and he told his family. The first person he told was obviously Khadija radiallahu anha, his wife. She believed in him. When he was scared, what did she tell him? She said to him, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will never let anything bad happen to you. Why? Because you take care of the people who need it. You take care of the orphans who don't have parents. You're merciful to others. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not let anything bad happen to you. And you know, this has a lesson for all of us, by the way. Prophet, if Khadija radiallahu ta'ala told that to the Prophet, what do you think? Does it apply to us too? Does that apply to us too? It does, right? That applies to us because what that means is, guys, we have to put our best. We put our best behavior. We show our best attitudes to the outside world, right? We need to be the best human possible, inshallah. Try our level best. I know we all get upset, we all get angry, we all have our down moments, we all have it, right? But that doesn't mean that we hurt others. That doesn't mean we are bad to people around us, or we are bad to ourselves too. Sometimes we can be very bad to us too, right? So you have to be nice to everybody around you and yourself. So Khadija radiallahu anha said, that when you are nice to other people, you're there for everybody. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not harm you. Now what happened was, can people tell me, all the children here, Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, did he have any sons? We know he got daughters, but did he have any sons? Yeah, it's a very confusing question though, because it has both answers. Yes and no. He did have sons, but they died in infancy, right? Some scholars say 3, some scholars 2, but yes, he had sons who died in infancy. Now what happened was, now the story starts, we're going to start with the first Sahaba, Zayd ibn al-Haritha. His name is Zayd ibn al-Haritha. He's the first Sahabi, or the first companion that we're going to talk about. Now let's rewind our story back. Okay, this is before Prophet Muhammad married Khadija radiallahu anha. Who was Khadija radiallahu anha, guys? Who was she before she married the Prophet? And why did she marry the Prophet too? Who was she? How do we know her? She was a trader. She was a rich lady. She was a widow. Saleswoman, that's a good one. Yes, businesswoman. That's the right word I was looking for. Right. She was very kind. Oh, that's that's right too. She was impressed by the Prophet. That's also right. But what we know about Khadija radiallahu anha, she was a businesswoman. She was a very strong and a very wise businesswoman, mashallah. She was of a very high stature. She was very well known in her community as being smart, intelligent, but she was a widow. Who is a widow? A widow is somebody who has lost her husband, right? Her husband had passed away. So she did not even have any children. Now, as we all know, how old was she? Was she older than Prophet Muhammad ﷺ when she got married? Or was she younger than him? She was older to him. That's right, she was older to him. So, because she was a businesswoman and she had lots of things to take care of, and she was of an age too, so she wanted help. She was getting tired. It's, one thing about Khadija radiallahu anha is something that we should all learn about, right? We should learn from her that even though she was very rich, she could have afforded a very nice big home, all the help, like she could have maids and people around her to help her, right? And she could have easily sat down and enjoyed the luxuries of this life. She was actually very humble. She did all her work by herself. She didn't order around people. She was very kind. But she started to get tired obviously, because she was getting old and there was a lot of business to be taken care of. So she sent one of her helpers to buy her a slave. In olden times, we know slavery is abolished now, but in olden, this is like 500 years ago, like long time back, they had slaves, right? They used to buy and sell slaves, and the most sad part is the slaves were usually black people. That's very sad part, but this is how it was 500 years ago. So one of the slaves, her helper went to get her a slave. One of the slaves was actually Zaid ibn al-Haritha, and he was a young boy, a very young boy. How did Zaid end up in the slave market? That's something you guys need to know. Zaid ibn al-Haritha, before we continue with his story, we'll come back to what the title it says right down there, beloved of the beloved. You know, Prophet Muhammad ﷺ is known as the beloved of all people because we all love him, right? And we need to love him more than anybody in this whole world, right? Zayd ibn al-Haritha was called beloved of the beloved, meaning he was loved. He was so loved by Prophet Muhammad ﷺ that he was known as the most precious thing to him. And that's where we're coming to now. Why was that so? What happened was Zayd ibn al-Haritha and his mom and his dad and his family were actually going to a trip. So Zayd was with his mom and dad, and what happened was he was actually on a trip to visit his aunt. And while he was on this trip, there were a bunch of bandits who attacked them. They stole their money, they stole their possessions, whatever they had, their food. And what they did was they actually kidnapped Zayd ibn al-Haritha. And Zayd ibn al-Haritha was a very little boy at that time. He was just 6 or 7 years old. According to some scholars, he was also 10 years old. So we're not sure exactly of the age, but he was very young. So they took away Zayd. Zayd ibn al-Haritha was not always a slave. He belonged to a free family. But because the bandits attacked and kidnapped him, and he was a black person, we should remember this. I'm going to come back to this, that why I keep emphasizing on he was a black person. He was a black person, he was a black boy, and he was put on the slave market. So when he came out on the slave market, imagine being so young. Look at our ages. And astaghfirullah, can we even imagine being taken away from our parents? This is something very hard. And this is what I want you guys to know. While we are studying about the Sahabahs, the Sahabahs were not very different, guys. We know prophets are really special people because Allah SWT gave them miracles and everything. But the Sahabas, they're also human beings, and they were like us. They had issues like us. They had problems like us. They went through hard times just like we do. They also suffered from sadness. They also suffered from not having friends. They also suffered from being lonely. They also suffered from anger. They were also mistreated. There were so many things that happened to them. They also lost their parents. Some of them also had no money. Some of them were very rich, but they were not happy. So the Sahabas were just like us, right? And I'm talking about Zayd ibn al-Haritha. Imagine being so young, taken away from his mom and dad. Quick question. His story reminds of what prophet's story? Being separated from his parents very young. Which prophet was that? Yusuf alayhi salam. Yes. My favorite story, Prophet Yusuf's story. But yeah, that's similar to his story. Now, this also shows that Prophet Yusuf was also human, and we all have these examples to look up to. Okay, they're not somebody who were out of this world. They were humans like us. So anyway, now what happens is Zayd bin Haritha, he's kidnapped, right? And then he's put in the slave market, and Khadija radiallahu anha's helper buys him and brings him to Khadija radiallahu ta'ala. So this is how Zayd ibn al-Haritha actually came to the Prophet's house. Then obviously we know the story goes on. Khadija radiallahu ta'ala marries Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and Prophet Muhammad actually finds Zayd ibn al-Haritha, very special. He finds him very different and very special. And you know how Prophet Muhammad is? Such a nice heart, very kind heart, loves everybody. So, being Prophet Muhammad, the way he is, such an awesome, amazing, cool guy, he automatically finds love for Zayd ibn al-Haritha. And you know, he loves him, he treats him good, he treats him better than his own children, right? Now, while this is all happening, let me tell you guys, all this time we are hearing that Zayd has been kidnapped, and Zayd is bought by Khadija radiallahu anha, and Khadija marries Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and you know they're having a nice family time, and you know he's part of the family and everything. What do you think is happening to Zayd's parents at this time? Remember, he's separated from his original parents. What do you think is happening? They're sad, right? They're freaking out. Exactly. They're devastated. So as the father is trying to find Zayd, he was so sad. He used to cry loudly. He used to sing poems. He used to sing poems, sad poems, missing him and say them loudly. And he searched everywhere for Zayd. Now, because he's searching everywhere all these years, in one of his poems, he actually said that I don't even know if my son is alive or not. They, in Arab times, they used to recite a lot of poetry to express themselves. It still happens today. We can see people write poems and they write nice blogs, right, to express themselves. So this was one of the way his father expressed his sadness and grief looking for his son. Now what happens is Zayd's elder brother, he visits Makkah, and even though it's been years, he sees Zayd and he recognizes him sitting next to the Prophet Muhammad in Makkah. So he quickly runs to his dad and he's like, you know what, I found him. His father comes running to Makkah. He travels all the way and he does see Zayd there, right? And Zayd is all excited. Zayd's father is all excited. And he goes to Prophet Muhammad and he says, you know what? Zayd ibn al-Haritha, he's my son. This is what happened. He was taken away unjustly. And you know, he was kidnapped and we've been looking for him and we're really sad, and I would like to have my son back. I know you bought him as a slave, so I'm going to give you any amount of money you ask for. Just give me back my son, right? So Prophet Muhammad being the most just and kind, what do you think Prophet Muhammad did? I want you guys to guess. What did he do? He kept him, gave his son back, gave him back. Okay. All right, most of you guessed he gave him back. This is very good. So all of your guesses are actually right, because that's what we can expect of Prophet Muhammad right? So Prophet Muhammad, what he does is, he called Zayd ibn al-Haritha and he said, Zayd, here's your dad. And he tells his dad, you know what, I don't want any money because he was taken unjustly from you. He's free to go. Zayd is free, he can go back with his dad. Now imagine Zayd ibn al-Haritha standing there. Now he's a young man here now, right? He's now a teenager. And one thing I want to tell you guys, so Zayd ibn al-Haritha was 10 years younger than Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He was not very young, very younger than Prophet, but just 10 years younger, right? So they had a very close relationship together too. Now Zayd ibn al-Haritha, imagine how torn he is because he loves his father a lot, but guess what? He doesn't want to leave the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He tells his dad that I don't want to go with you. And his dad actually gets upset naturally. And he's like, why? You like living as a slave with this man? You want to live as a slave while you can walk away for free and live with us with your parents? And Zayd ibn al-Haritha is like, I actually love it because Prophet Muhammad treats me like his children, if sometimes even better than his own children. I eat with them. I'm with them throughout the time, and he gives me so much love and so much respect. And I really love Prophet Muhammad. I don't want to leave him. So what happens when this conversation is going on? Prophet Muhammad understands that, you know, guys, this is getting serious, right? Like Prophet Muhammad also loves Zayd a lot, and even though he's happy that Zayd doesn't want to go back to his dad, He also understands that as a father, his dad's feeling really bad. He said he wants his son back, right? But he's also upset that he's a slave. Why does he want to live with Prophet Muhammad as a slave? So what does Prophet Muhammad do? Man, he's such a hero, the biggest hero of all time. Prophet Muhammad says, you know what? He stands up in front of Kaaba and he says, because Zaid doesn't want to leave and he said he wants to stay with Prophet Muhammad. Prophet Muhammad stands up and says, Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, that from now on, he announces it loud and clear, I adopt Zaid as my son. He's going to inherit from me, meaning whatever I give my children, he's going to get it equally. And I free Zaid. He is no more a slave to me, he's my son. So in fact, he names him Zaid ibn Muhammad, Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. This is before, great move, I agree, it's a very great move. Because before the laws of adoption, that how you can adopt is through Islamic ways, before those rules were sent down by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so Prophet Muhammad just gave him his last name too. Now the dad's looking at all of this, right? Dad's father, and he's like, you know what? I'm truly satisfied because now my son can live as a free man, and he's very satisfied. So he leaves Makkah happily, saying that, he's gonna take care. I'm so sorry. Oh, what just happened? Yeah. So he said he's satisfied and he'll leave Zaid with Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Now, like I said, Zaid was 10 years younger to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and he continued to live with him. And this is where Zaid was one of the most dearest people to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I want you guys to watch this video on Zaid ibn al-Harisa. It's very small. Um, it's a short video, but I want to know if you guys can hear it, okay? I'm going to play it. If you cannot hear it, let me know, okay? Oops. What just happened? Okay. Some of you are writing you cannot hear it. Okay. So what we're going to do is when we are going to upload these slides, inshallah, you'll be able to hear this video later on. Okay? So you guys, I'm so sorry, but it was basically about Zaid ibn al-Harisa, who he was and how he lived his life as a humble man. Now, just because he was named as Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu son, he did not get all proud and arrogant and happy that, oh, now I'm the son of a prophet and I'm going to be, I can do whatever I want to. No, it's not going to work out like this. He remains to be humble, right? Zaid ibn al-Harisa was able, I'm so sorry, Zaid ibn al-Harisa remained humble and he was there with the Prophet ﷺ like his son. What do you think was the toughest day of Prophet's life? I'm going to talk something about that. What was the most toughest day of Prophet Muhammad's life? The day of Taif, right? We all know the story when Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, and this was why the toughest day was because Prophet Muhammad ﷺ had just lost his wife, Khadija radiyallahu anha. And then he had lost his uncle. So they were his biggest support. And he lost people who were really close to him. And all he was left of the family members was actually Zaid. So Zaid went with him on Taif. There's a place called Taif. It's a very beautiful mountainous region. So when he went there to tell people about Islam, it's called the Day of Sorrow. That's right. When he went to tell people about the Islam, you know what happened? You guys know the details that how bad they were and how mean they were to Prophet Muhammad ﷺ? What they did was they said to all their young boys and girls to make two parallel lines. And this line stretched for miles. Some say it was almost 15 miles. It was this long, and they had stones in their hands. And they made Prophet Muhammad ﷺ walk between those lines, and they threw stones at him all through the 15 miles. And they kept throwing stones at him, and they kept throwing rocks at him, and whatever they could find. Some even spat on his face. This was disgusting and humiliating. And Prophet Muhammad ﷺ only had Zayd ibn al-Harisa with him, and Zayd tried to comfort him, he tried to protect him, but that was hard. It was so hard for Prophet Muhammad ﷺ that his entire body was covered in blood. Imagine being hit with stones, you're spat on, like this is humiliating. And this is what Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said, that it was so tough because his slippers were filled with the rocks and stones. And he was beaten, he was treated really bad. And that's the day when nobody was with him but Zayd ibn al-Harisa. Imagine Zayd ibn al-Harisa was there as his comfort. So Zayd ibn al-Harisa was with him throughout the time. I'm going to skip this video again because it was actually a video of Taif. You can search on YouTube the mountains of Taif and you'll see how beautiful they are. Now Zayd ibn al-Harisa, though he was the son of Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, adopted son, he was very beloved. He was very beloved to Prophet Muhammad ﷺ. The Prophet Rasulullah ﷺ made him the commander of all the battles that he went to. So there were 7 battles that were fought when Zayd ibn al-Harisa was alive, and for each battle, he was sent as the commander of the battle. And what happened was that Zayd ibn al-Harisa passed away. He died in the Battle of Muta. It was one of the battles that happened at the Jordanian border. And Zayd ibn al-Harisa was killed in that battle. And when he died, this was away from Makkah. So you can imagine, obviously, when battles happen, when the Sahabahs died, or there were things that were lost, it would take days, sometimes even months, for the troops to come back and let the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ know that whatever they lost and whoever they lost. But when Zayd ibn al-Harisa passed away, his death news was brought to Prophet Muhammad ﷺ by Angel Jibreel. Angel Jibreel came and said and told the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, he broke down the sad news of Zayd ibn al-Harisa passing away. And can you imagine what happened to the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ when he heard about it? You all can imagine, right? He got really, really sad. He was so sad that he was sitting on top of his mimbar, and he had to step down, and he started crying. He was so sad. He was closer to him like his son, right? He adopted him. He cared for him from a very young age. So when he passed away, Prophet Muhammad ﷺ cried a lot, and he was really sad. So that's when people and everybody realized that how Zayd ibn al-Harisa was so close to Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, that it is said that loving Zayd ibn al-Harisa is an act of worship. He was known as the beloved of the beloved because Prophet Muhammad ﷺ loved him so dearly, like his own son. Because Zayd ibn al-Harisa left his father for Prophet Muhammad ﷺ. So he was very special. And what we should know, that Zayd ibn al-Harisa and his wife Baraka had a baby boy. His name was Usama. And this boy, Usama, was very close to the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, just like his grandsons Hassan and Hussein. And they used to play with the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, and they were very close. And Prophet Muhammad ﷺ loved Usama bin Zayd just like he loved Hussein and Hassan. Now we're going to talk about Ayman, who's also known as Baraka. You know who is Baraka? And who is Ayman? Can anybody guess? What was her relationship with Zayd ibn al-Haritha? That's right. She was the wife of she was the wife of Zayd ibn al-Harisa. And this is a beautiful story. I want to let you guys know something. Ayman was very special. She was such a special woman. Can you tell me what was her relationship with the Prophet? Before I start with her, I want to know how much you guys know. Who was she to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam? The foster mother of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That's right. She took care of the Prophet when his mother died. Amina's servant, his wet nurse. There you go. Very good. That's almost all of you got it right. Ayman was, again, the similarities between her and Zayd were, they both were black people and they were slaves. Remember, Zayd ibn al-Harisa was a free man, but he was kidnapped into the slave market. Ayman was a slave because she was a black woman. Again, what I want you guys, before I continue with Ayman, I want you guys to realize this. What is happening right now? We all know what's happening in the name of George Floyd. Do we all know this? Right? What is going on right now? What are we addressing? What are we seeing in the world? Racism, BLM, Black Lives Matter, right? Exactly. What I want you guys to notice is that Prophet Muhammad ﷺ addressed racism and he tried to put an end to this racism. All those people who tried to put these black people on the slave market, treated them low, did not respect them. Prophet Muhammad ﷺ gave those black people so much izzah, so much respect and love, and put them on such a high pedestal, gave them such a big status that showed the world that color does not matter. And you remember the last khutbah of Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, what did he say? No black is superior over a white, and no white has superiority over a black. We all know that, right? So this is hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years ago. Even before Black Lives Matter, it was Prophet Muhammad ﷺ who put an end to it, because in the eyes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it is the Quran that is so just. Our Islam is super cool religion, man. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not look at your skin color when He's putting you in Jannah. He looks at your deeds. He doesn't say, oh, you're yellow, white, black. No, He looks at your deeds. He sees how good you were in the dunya before He puts you in Jannah. He doesn't give you he doesn't give black people a hard life and white people a good life just because of the skin color. No, He gives everybody the life they deserve, or the life that's going to be a test for them or good for them and going to take them to Jannah. Right? People treat other people wrong and unjust because of their skin color. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said no to it. And that's what I want you guys to know. Zayd ibn al-Harisa was a black man. And he was adopted by Prophet Muhammad ﷺ. He was given all the equal rights of inheritance. Remember Bilal radiallahu anh? He was a black man who was put on top of Kaaba to give the first azan. How awesome and cool is that? How respectful is that? This is what we need to know, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala never ever gives superiority to any color or race, and neither should we do that. Just because somebody is fairer than the other, or just because we are rich and others poor, or we have something and others don't have, gives you no right to down upon them. It doesn't work that way, guys. It's going to cause a lot of mess in the world if that happens. So Ayman was a black woman, and she was also brought into the Prophet's life as a slave. So what happened was, rewind the story back again, when Prophet Muhammad ﷺ was born, and we all know that his father died before he was born, and Amina, his mom, gave birth to Prophet Muhammad ﷺ. When she gave birth to him, I want you guys to know that Prophet Muhammad ﷺ's mom was actually his mother was very sad and depressed, because obviously she had lost her husband, she was pregnant, She was going through a very hard time. She felt lonely. And throughout this time, it was Baraka. Her other name is Ayman. Baraka was with Amina throughout those sad times, and she comforted him. She cared for her, comforted her and cared for her. She was there with her throughout. She was there when Prophet Muhammad SAW was born, and she actually uh, told everybody she saw the light that came out of the house when Prophet Muhammad SAW was born. So she was the first one. She was the only woman present with Amina when Prophet Muhammad SAW was born. When he was born, she cleaned him, she wiped him clean, she wrapped him, she put clothes on him, and she was the first woman to hold Prophet Muhammad SAW. So she was there throughout. Now, after Amina died, right? And while she was dying, Amina actually told Baraka to take care of the Prophet Muhammad SAW like a mother. And Baraka was so special. She was so adorable. She was so caring that when Prophet Muhammad SAW was watching his mom die, she comforted him. She was there with him. So Baraka practically raised him. She raised Prophet Muhammad SAW. She cared for him. She never got married until Prophet Muhammad SAW got married. She never stopped caring for the Prophet throughout his life. When Prophet Muhammad SAW was a grown-up man, he was married, and when he used to visit Baraka at her house, she used to um, she used to lay out food in front of him, and she would sometimes stuff food in his mouth so he eats, just like a mom cares for her child. She was like that. And being a black woman, nobody gave her that izzah, that respect that Prophet Muhammad SAW gave her. And when Prophet Muhammad SAW got married to Hazrat Khadija radiallahu anh, he introduced her as the mother after my mother. He told Khadija radiallahu anh that she is the woman who took care of me when after my mom died. So she was there throughout. And then what happens is when Prophet Muhammad SAW obviously is now a grown-up man, he's married Khadija, they tell Baraka that why don't you get married now? Prophet Muhammad said that now I'm a grown-up man, I have my family, and you have a right to get married and take care of yourself, right? Now at that time, Baraka got really, really old. So she got married the first time around to one of the Sahabis who actually died in a battle. She also had a son with him, and his name was Ayman. That's why her name comes Ayman. So her first husband died in a battlefield, and she got lonely again, of course, because now she did not have anybody to take care of her, and she was very old. Imagine she was 13 or 14 years old when Prophet Muhammad SAW was born. So she cared for him. She was 14 years old at that time. So imagine how old she would be when Prophet Muhammad SAW got married, right? Pretty old woman. So when her first husband died, Prophet Muhammad SAW announced that whoever wants to marry the woman of Jannah can marry Ayman, Baraka. And guess what happens? As soon as he says this, Zayd ibn Harisa is there, and he raises his hand. He's like, I'm going to marry her. I'm going to do it. If she's the woman of Jannah, I want to go to Jannah. So he marries, and he's right there, Zayd ibn Harisa. And even though he's 20 years younger than Baraka, he agrees to marry her just because he wants to go to Jannah and because she's a woman of Jannah. How sweet is that? Guys, we need to know this. That's our end goal. Our end goal is Jannah. And the road to Jannah is not always very easy. And it's not going to be a bed of roses. But there are people, these are the Sahabas. For them, Jannah was the ultimate goal. Their ultimate goal was that I am pleasing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's their ultimate goal was, and that's what we need to achieve. So Zayd ibn al-Harisa marries Baraka, and they have a son, even though she's very, very old. Again, miracle of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they are blessed with a son named Osama. Now, we all know Baraka, obviously, she was She cared for the Prophet throughout his life, and she was always there with the Prophet whenever there were battles. The companions used to say that she used to go to battles just to keep an eye on the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, like a mom. She would see that how he's doing and if he's safe, and she would care for the people who were wounded in battles. She would care for them. Sometimes she would tear her own clothing to wrap the wounds um, of the Sahabas who were hurt in the battle. So she never basically left the Prophet Muhammad side. And that's what amazing thing is. Zayd ibn al-Haritha, her second husband, also dies. Her both sons also passed away. They were shaheed in battles. So, and imagine, she actually witnessed the Prophet's death as well. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave her a very long life. She lived for 100 years. She saw the Khilafah of Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala an, when we had Abu Bakr as the Khalifa, and then she saw Abu Bakr's death, and then she witnessed the whole Khilafah of Umar ibn al-Khattab, and she died 20 days after Umar ibn al-Khattab passed away, and we all know Umar ibn al-Khattab was assassinated. So she passed away 20 days after Umar ibn al-Khattab's death, and she is buried in al-Baqi. Can somebody tell me where Baqi is and what is Baqi? Jannat al-Baqi? In Medina. Yes, what is Jannat al-Baqi? Jannat al-Baqi is a special graveyard in Medina, right outside the Prophet's mosque. And we have they say around 7,000 Sahabas are buried there. But it's a special graveyard. Because it's very blessed in the eyes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And many people still get buried there. I have two of my relatives who are buried in Medina, in Al-Baqi. So people who live there get buried there too. But yeah, this is a very blessed graveyard because we have lots of Sahabas and Tabatarain in there. They're buried in there. So it's a very blessed graveyard. And it's in Medina. And I want you guys, inshallah, to again go to YouTube and search for how Jannatul Baqi looks like. Okay? So Barakah, basically, I want to tell you guys something. So when Prophet Muhammad SAW died, can you believe what happened to Barakah? How do you think she acted when Prophet Muhammad SAW died? A woman who was a mother to Prophet Muhammad SAW. She was sad, very sad, okay? She got so sad that after Prophet Muhammad SAW died, she stopped smiling. Can you imagine? And she lived for so long, but she stopped smiling. She was devastated, you are right. She was so sad that she stopped smiling. She wouldn't, she was a very happy woman, so she used to crack jokes and everything, but she stopped doing that. And she got really sad. And once what happened, because obviously Prophet Muhammad SAW gave her so much respect, called her the mother after his mother. He basically he respected her as his mother. Now when she passed away, Umar ibn al-Khattab and Abu Bakr and the companions used to visit her often. And once Umar ibn al-Khattab and Abu Bakr visited her, and she said, she was sad, and obviously Prophet Muhammad, sorry, Umar ibn al-Khattab and Abu Bakr asked, they told her that we understand that you're sad, and we also miss Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. You know what she said? She said, I know that Prophet Muhammad is in a better place. I know that. What I'm sad about is that the wahi, the revelation, stopped coming. That's what I'm sad about. That I can no longer hear what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala used to send to us. So she loved the religion so much. She went through a lot of hard times. She was with the Prophet when the boycott happened. She lived through poverty. She lived through hunger. She lived through starvation. She lived through really hard times. And every time Prophet Muhammad SAW used to ask her, are you okay? Are you doing okay? She used to say, if Islam is okay, I am okay. Meaning as long as Islam is prospering, as long as we are doing it for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I'm okay. Guys, we need to be this strong. We need to be this strong that we are Muslims, and inshallah we can go through everything. And again, she is a black woman. And imagine the issa, the status that Prophet Muhammad ﷺ gave her being a black woman. Now, guys, we're going to wrap it up real quick. I'm going to quickly say the two names of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and then we're going to head off to Kahoot, okay? Names of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we know there are 99 names. So we're going to, I'm not sure if this way is going to work. Let me go. Let me try it. If you guys can hear it, let me know, okay? I'm going to give it one last try. Oh, no. Wait a minute. Okay. Okay. That's okay. If you guys can't hear it, that's fine. Inshallah, you're gonna see this video I'm gonna upload, and you can definitely watch it in the links. Inshallah, next time I promise you guys you can hear the video. Okay, we are sorry about this glitch we're having, but inshallah you're gonna hear it. Okay. Now there are two names of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala I'm gonna address today. It's called it's As-Sami. Allah is Sami al-Basir. Can somebody tell me what is As-Sami? It's right there on the slides, guys. Allah is As-Sami. He's all. What does this mean, all hearing? What does it mean, all hearing? What does it mean, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is all hearing? He hears everything. Okay. Al-Basir. He the all seeing. He sees everything. Why is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala Sami al-Basir? You know why? Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sees you and He hears you wherever you are, whatever you're doing. He knows what you guys are up to. So even if you're in a dark room, or you're alone, or you're just with your friend, if you guys think, oh, my parents don't know because they're not here, doesn't work that way. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is Sami'ul Basir. He's seeing everything. He's hearing everything. He knows what's in your heart even if you don't say it. So one thing that I want you guys to know is that there are 99 names of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and each of them have a meaning because this shows that who Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is. And when you are making dua, you should know that when Allah is a Sami, like He's hearing everything, even if you don't say the dua from your mouth and it's just in your heart, for example, somebody hurts you and you're sad, and just in your heart you're like, Allah Ta'ala, this person hurt me, and I can't tell anybody about it. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala heard it because He is a Sami. And even if somebody hurts you and nobody saw it, and you can't tell anybody, that you cannot prove it to somebody that they hurt me, Allah is al-Basir. He's seeing it. He saw it, even if nobody did. Even if you did something alone in isolation and nobody saw it, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did. So when you are making dua, I want you guys to know this. This is a special thing about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's names. When you are calling Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's names in your du'as, that Allah, please listen to my dua, you are a Sami'ul Basir, Allah Ta'ala increases the value of your dua. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives it more strength, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accepts the dua even more. It's not that He wouldn't accept it if you don't call out in His names, but it adds a special meaning to your dua. That's what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's names are. And I want you guys to listen the 99 names of Allah's Nasheed. What's it called? Quickly, guys, so we start Kahoot. The 99 names of Allah Nasheed. I know all of you must have heard it. I want you guys to go on YouTube and hear it. They Asmaul Husna. They are amazing, and I absolutely love that. I want you guys to try memorizing all the 99 names of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, inshallah. Okay, now we're gonna go ahead and start with Kahoot, and we're gonna meet next week with a couple of Sahabas more. Okay, so we're gonna go with Kahoot. Okay. Now the Kahoot pin is 1996927. 1996927. Samosa cat. Oh. Guys, make sure when you're making your names, it better be respectful. It can be silly goose, but please be respectful. Remember, as Allah is Samiul Basir. He's seeing everything. So even if you make up those unrespectful and weird names, he knows it. Inshallah. I'm gonna wait for some of you guys to join. While everybody is joining, can you tell me what are you guys doing in summer? Sometimes nothing is good thing too. Sleeping, lots of sleeping is boring. Come on, guys, Quran, that's awesome. See, sometimes boring is good too. Earth to grow. Oh, I've heard about Earth to grow. Mm-hmm. Homework. You have homework? Whoa, summer. But that's good. Home keeps you all brushed up with your learning. Pakistani mangoes taste super good. Yeah, I've heard that too. Guess what? My father-in-law brings them, and they're actually very good. You did a water fight? That's cool. Summers is all about water fight. My summer just started. Oh, congratulations! Pondering over things. Lots and lots of work. We're doing a summer camp. Well, you guys have got an interesting summer. I want pizza. Oh my god, I want pizza too. Do you guys have cheese pizza more? Or do you guys like those halal gyro chicken pizzas? Cheese, yum. Yeah, now I'm craving for pizza too. Today I made chocolate cake. Cheese and veggie. Oh, I like gyros too. Inshallah. See, guys, I know it's summertime. I know that it's relaxing, but you guys know what? Inshallah, you can do a lot of things that's good for you. How about you guys just pick one big surah that you guys decide on? Say, for example, make a goal that you're gonna memorize. Let's pick a big surah. It could be big for me, but not big for you. Let's say, for example, it's Surah Yasin. You guys are like, you know what? I'm gonna memorize Surah Yasin summer. So you get a goal, right? You can always find incentives to do in your summer vacations. That would make it less boring. Um, there's many nice lectures online you can hear. There are nice Islamic stories of the prophets. You can, what my son is doing, he's recently starting to learn how to draw. So he would watch the YouTube videos and he tries drawing things. That's a start. You can improve. Some girls can try to learn stitching from their mom if they know how to do it. Well, boys can too. You can learn how to sew a button. It's gonna be awesome. You guys can learn something new. You guys can try new recipes every day. There are so many things we can do. Mandy, oh yeah, you can try henna designing too, girls. You can definitely do that. You can. Uh, okay, so we're gonna give it a minute more, and then we're gonna start Kahoot. Okay. Oh, my water just ran out. Guys, it's summertime. You need to keep yourself hydrated. So inshallah, make a goal for summer. Definitely a surah goal should be it. You guys are smart. Come on, you can do such hard math and geography and history and whatnot. So you guys can do surahs. That's very easy. You listen to nice Quranic stories of the Prophet too. It's amazing. Really, and oh my God, I have to tell you this. Homer has a really awesome series that he did in Ramadan on angels. It's called the Angel series. You guys have to watch it. That's an amazing series. My son and I watched it, and oh, wow, that's really good. And very just like 4 minutes, sometimes just 3 minute videos. But yeah, on YouTube there's amazing angel series, Angels in My Presence. There you go, buddy. That's the series I'm talking about. You get to do it. They're awesome series by Sheikh Umar Salan. Can definitely watch it. All right, let's go ahead and start the Kahoot. Okay. Which is true about al-Baqi? I think I put 20 seconds. It's a very long time. All right, Samira, good job. You are the first one. Next question. It's a true and false. That's a tricky one. Zayd bin Harisa was a black man that was free when he came to Khadija. That's false, of course. He was free after Prophet Muhammad ﷺ declared him as his son. Wow, man. Oh, Samir. Oh, winner. That's a nice name. Okay. Zayd bin Harisa was Baraka's first husband. Is that true or false? That's false. Zayd bin Harisa was Baraka's first husband. And we have Ayman Tahir on top. Next question, guys. What is common about Zayd and Baraka? What is the common thing that they shared? They were both black people. They both were part of Prophet Muhammad's family. I'm sure all of you will get this one right. You guys are so smart and quick. Awesome. All right, next question, guys. What is true about Baraka or Ayman? MashaAllah, you guys are doing so good. All right, good job, guys. Let's go to the next one. Ayman Tahir, you are on top again. Prophet Muhammad ﷺ freed Zayd before adopting him as his son. Ooh, true or false? Did he free Zayd before adopting him? Is it true or false? Absolutely false. He freed Zayd ibn al-Harisa after he adopted him as his son. Zayd and Baraka had a big age gap between them. True or false? Next question. Why did Zayd want to marry Baraka? Was it because she was rich, or was it because she was black like him and he wanted something in common? Was it because she was called the woman of Jannah? I can see some people spamming the chat. Please don't do that. It's not respectful to the program. All right, question number 9 out of 15. How did Prophet Muhammad ﷺ put an end to racism? You guys should know this. You guys are smart. I'm sure you guys know this, inshallah. Alrighty, true and false. Allah has 98 names. Come on, guys, that's one. Kindergarten. True or false? Obviously false. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has 99 names, not 98 names. You guys can learn them over this summer. Zayd was always the commander of a mission chosen by the Prophet ﷺ. When Zayd ibn al-Haritha was alive, he was chosen as the commander of a mission every time. Is it true or false? And it is true. Zayd was always chosen the commander by Prophet Muhammad ﷺ. What do we learn from the Sahabah's lives? They are role models on how to remain steadfast, meaning on the right track. Also had difficult choices in life. What do you guys think? That's right. All of that was right. Okay. 13 out of 15. Asami means all hearing. True or false? Let us see who gets this right. Asami means all hearing. True, Asami does mean all hearing. Al-Basir means all powerful. That's also very easy peasy. Al-Basir means all powerful. Thank you for liking my accent. I do that often. Okay, and the last question pops up. Though Allah's names increases its value or increases its strength. Alright guys, we are done. And with Sahaba series, day 1. I'm so sorry, I can't see who came first. Whoa, I don't know why they're not saying the names here. Okay, so we have Lego, Javaria, and I can't read the third name, Samira. So congratulations, guys. And you know what? Congratulations to all of you. Why? All of you got everything almost right. And I'm proud of you. Thank you for staying with us. Inshallah, learning something new. Because of you guys, I also learned a lot of new things. Inshallah, meet you next week. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. Don't forget to watch the videos of YouTube that I uploaded. Remember, you have to look at what it looks like, how the story and why it's blessed. And I want you guys to listen to the nasheed of Asma ul Husna and Zammiluni by Nadine. Alright guys, inshallah, see you soon. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum. Jazakallah khair, Sister Sana, for such an amazing session, mashallah. There are so many lessons that we can learn from the lives of the Sahabahs, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala inspire us to have a beautiful character just like them. May we all use what we learned today to make our lives better, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide us and protect us all. Ameen. Please join us in the next session, which will take place next Friday, same time. I'll conclude the session with a surah and a dua. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وتواصوا بالصبر وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.